Hello guys, today we'll have a discussion on essay writing. We all know essay in UPSC mains essay writing, the essay paper comes for 250 marks. We have to write two essays, each essay bearing 125 marks. And this paper it is a very scoring paper when compared to the optionals and the remaining general studies paper, because the efforts we have to put in is quite minimal when compared to the efforts we have to put in the general studies papers and optionals papers in order to get good marks. Also, the essay paper will be, and it is an open ended, the essay questions which will appear, the essay questions which will appear are quite open ended in nature, in the sense that, for example, if you take general studies paper or question, or and the optionals paper, the questions the questions are quite rigid, in the sense that we have to adhere to the question asked, the concepts asked in the question, the topic asked in the question, but it is not same in the essay. We can maneuver the essay in a way we wish, but the only condition is that the essay we write should adhere to the topic asked. It should be close to the topic asked, but we can express the essay in whatever way we want. We can use anecdotes, we can use diagrams, we can use flow charts, we can use quotations. So we have an option, we have an opportunity here to express ourselves in a much better way, without any without the word limit, which the other general studies papers and optional papers imposes on us. So we often have difficulties in understanding the roadmap to master essay writing in UPSC. First of all, so let us have a short discussion on how to master essay writing for UPSC mains, UPSC civil services. So first of all, our essay should be multidimensional in nature. For instance, if an essay is asked regarding economy, the economy in India, the essay should not be adhered to only economy. It should manure, it should take into consideration various other fields also. For example, the constitution, what are the various economic provisions provided in the constitution, also historical aspects regarding the economy of India, also the contemporary aspects, also the worldly affairs, regarding what are the impact of worldly affairs on economics in India, uh, sociology, the what are the impact of economy on the society of India. So it should be multidimensional in nature. Also, we can limit our preparation to few sectors itself while preparing for essay. For instance, the the UPSC questions usually maneuver around some topics like maybe democracy or constitution or society. In society, especially the women, the backward classes, or transgenders or children, uh, also the health sector, or the other sectors which we have to prepare for essays, economic sector, the social sector we have discussed, right? And the worldly affairs, the current affairs, the worldly affairs, what's happening in the world, what's happening with our neighbors and its impact on India, what are the various policies, what are the impact of various variety of bilateral groups and multilateral groups, what are the impact of their decisions on India. So we can limit ourselves in our preparation. So what we will do in this essay lecture series is, we will discuss the fodder points of essay from multidimensional point of view. For example, today we will take the topic of democracy and discuss a few fodder points which will help us to write a better essay regarding democracy, or any topic for a matter of point. So we will do this for various sectors, various fields or streams. Next, so we will do this for women, we will do this for poverty. We will also discuss some important quotations. We'll discuss what are the anecdotes we can use. Yes, a few anecdotes also we will discuss, and we will discuss regarding India also. So many will focus our attention on collecting fodder points from so many areas, which will help us in writing better essays by already our previous knowledge in general studies and optionals and current affairs. We are reading so much, so by properly utilizing this knowledge we can write better essays. So today we'll begin by discussing some further points from the topic of democracy. So there is no limit for discussion because there is so many things happening in India, so many things happening around the world, but here we will discuss certain basic principles, basic aspects of democracy. And if you ask me what is the source of this, I have collected these fodder materials from various sites online. For instance, from I have picked up directly copy pasted these fodder points from insightsonindia.com site, where weekly challenges, which weekly essay writing challenges takes place. Certain students come there and write their essays. I have copy pasted from there. Also from ronald.org site and various other online sites and Hindu newspaper, Yojana, from various places I have taken these fodder points. So let's discuss democracy. So the simplest expression to understand democracy, if you want to understand democracy in a very simple manner, we have to understand or remember this quotation given by US former USA president late Mr. Abraham Lincoln. Democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. That is the by this quotation we can understand the utility of democracy. Utility of democracy, or the very purpose of democracy. Democracy is a form of government. This government is formed. What are the who are the stakeholders of this government? The people itself. The people itself. The people vote for their representatives. They send their representatives to the legislatures, where the representatives make laws for the well-being of the peoples. So this democracy is nothing but a form of government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So what exactly happens in democracy? What is the utility? What is the USP of democracy? Democracy, it treats each individual as equal. So equality is a basic concept here. In India, democracy treats all 130 crore people as equals, and democracy gives all of these 130 crore people equal opportunity for their personal development. Thus, the essence of democracy lies in participation and self-determination. That is, everyone, all the 130 crore people in our country can participate in nation building process, in policy formulation process, in policy implementation process. They can participate in order to take our country to much greater heights. So everyone is equal here, and everyone has equal rights to participation in all aspects of our country. And self-determination. Democracy gives that opportunity or right to that all the people, all the citizens of a country to determine themselves what they want to do. They have the right or opportunity to decide on what type of life they want to live, on their occasion, on their food, on their lifestyle, or on their food choices. So this is the essence of democracy, that is participation and self-determination. So these words are not this participation and self-determination or democracy, these are not just words. They carry an emotion, that is a feeling of assimilation and inclusion. What is assimilation? Assimilation, a type of cohesion. All of us, are all 130 crore people, are moving ahead together. We are all equal, we are all one and the same. And also inclusion. As you know, India is a melting pot of different religions, different cultures, and different people. So we are We are an epitome of multiculturalism, culturalism. We are an epitome of multi-religious, several kinds of people live in India. So democracy gives that opportunity of inclusion of people from various backgrounds. Also, democracy empowers people. Democracy, how does democracy empower people? See, let's take an example. Our constitution, we are a democratic nation, and our constitution provides opportunity for people from any background, any religion, any caste, to hold public offices in India. Everyone, we have universal adult franchise. Every person who is above 18 years can come and vote. Thus, true empowerment can happen only in democracy. So let us see the short history of democracy in India. Earlier in ancient India, during the ancient times, we used to have village assemblies, sabhas, samiti, etc. We had traces of democracy in ancient India itself. So it is not new to India. So what happened here? These village assembly helped those villages in better management of villages. Thereby, the conflicts were reduced and harmony and prosperity were maintained there. Even during the Chola period, they had a very extensive village assembly in the form of local bodies, and they had regular elections also, and they had very rigorous rules and regulations in order to be for candidates who had to be elected to these local bodies. So we have a very rich history, rich heritage of democracy in India, and due to this village assemblies and democracy, various conflicts among the villagemen, among the citizens of the villages were reduced, and harmony and prosperity was maintained. Also, a social reformer known as Basavanna from Karnataka. He was a social reformer, and he advocated for the rights of the backward classes and women. He established uh, an institution, a building known as Anubhava Mantapa. What happened in Anubhava Mantapa was people from various backward classes, women, destitutes, they came together under this roof, and they used to discuss various intellectual things. Thus, social transformation, it brought social transformation, and by this, knowledge used to spread from one place to another, and equality was established. Thus, this helped in better cohesion in the society. Also, the ancient kingdom of Sparta, as depicted in the Hollywood movie 300, functioned on the same lines of democracy. So now let us we have understood the basic concepts of democracy, and we have quite better conceptual clarity on democracy now. Now let us understand what are the threats to the democracy. There are various threats to democracy like terrorism, insurgency, radicalization, internal conflicts, etc., and conflict of ideologies, and global warming, climate change, migration due to conflicts and climate change, racial discrimination, inequality, gender perspective, etc. There are various threats to uh, democracy. Just give me a second, I'll have a sip of water. So we are discussing the major threats to democracy. So the first threat to democracy is terrorism, insurgency, radicalization, internal conflicts, etc. For example, if we take terrorism as a threat to democracy, ISIS, and that is Islamic State of Iraq and Syria in the West Asia, has created a chilling effect on has created a kind of war-like situation or emergency-like situation in the West Asia, especially in Iraq and Syria, where the people are basically persecuted who does not have faith in the concepts or ideologies with the it's a group, ISIS group. uh, what the ISIS groups say. For instance, so what basically is happening is democracy is stifled in the Iraq and Syria, and development has been stopped. Basically, the children are starving, people are dying, people are murdered, people who does not belong to, who does not adhere to the ideology which is been propagated by ISIS are murdered. So they have set up their system of their own, where uh, the the basic concepts of fundamental rights or basic humanity or basic self-respect of human have been stifled. So democracy, it is a major threat to democracy, and this also have various rippling effects, that people are migrating to other places, and various other the places where the people from this war torn areas are migrating have difficulties in accommodating them. Sorry, thus this terrorism as is a major roadblock to democracy. Also insurgency, if we see Syrian civil war and Balochistan, and the insurgency in Balochistan, disturbances in internal disturbances in Balochistan area, or we may see in India itself, in Jammu and Kashmir, or the Red Corridor, that is the Naxalite problem in India, are creating some sort of distortions to democracy, where the government, due to these internal disturbances, the government is not able to provide basic the service deliver services to the citizens, inhabitants of those places. Thus it is acting as a major roadblock to the development of the country, and the overall all-round development of the people there, especially the children there. So insurgencies like this, and radicalization also, especially Islamic radicalization is a term which is being used these days, where people are brainwashed to wage war against especially the West or non-believers. So various so such things, such events are a major roadblock to the democracy. Thus it stifles the participation and self-determination of the individuals living in those areas. For example, also insurgency in the northeast area is a, but due to democracy, it is like this: democracy can solve problems like this if government provides good governance in such areas, and by stifling those forces, by eliminating those forces, democracy can even the people there would be able to enable themselves to participation and self-determination as accorded by the Constitution of India. A good example is in the insurgency. There is an insurgency in Northeast India, but due to democracy, we have achieved some sort of status quo, or we have achieved some good. We have come a long way by achieving some sort of good relationships with the insurgents there. For instance, the Naga Peace Accord recently provides the Naga people a sense of assimilation and make them a stakeholder in the government. As Professor Wolf seems to said, if you have to live with the decisions, then you must be able to participate in decision making. Thus, the Naga Peace Accord, what it did was, it brought the insurgents into the ambit, into the fold of the democracy, where these insurgents will drop their weapons, will stop doing activities which is against the principles of democracy, and they are brought into the ambit of democracy, whereby these insurgents will now participate in elections, win elections, and form their governments, and become decision makers. Thus, as Professor Wolf seems to say, Professor Wolf's quotation seems very apt here. That is, if you have to live with the decisions, then you must be able to participate in making them. And there is also conflict of ideologies. For example, there is conflict of ideologies between Shia and Sunni conflicts. This can be avoided by promoting harmony between them. And how to promote harmony? Democracy is the best way to promote harmony between various stakeholders of a community. As it is mentioned in our preamble itself, fraternity it is the aim of the government to bring fraternity among people. This idea of conflict between various ideologies can be peacefully, smoothly solved with the help of democracy. Also, global warming and climate change is a threat to democracy. Albeit there have been global efforts such as United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, Kyoto Protocol, and recent Paris Agreement or Kigali Agreement, Montreal Protocol to check the global warming. So what are these efforts present an example of global democracy. What is global democracy? Global democracy means the various stakeholders of this earth, of this planet, come together and take a decision for the well-being of this earth and abide by this decision and keep each other accountable to for abiding by this decision. So global democracy by encouraging countries to participate in finding solution to the problem of climate change. So we can understand here due to the utility of democracy here, we had a problem here in the form of climate change, but democracy is enabling democracy is enabling all the stakeholders of this planet to sit together on a table and find solutions for this. So this is the utility of democracy. Also, the Indian initiative of International Solar Alliance is an example of democratic globalism or global democracy. Migration in the wake of conflicts, migration is happening due to various conflicts and climate change. The migrations of Syrians due to civil war, or the Rohingya Muslims from Myanmar, and the Balochis from the Pakistan are examples of undemocratic and oppressive behavior on part of the state as well as the non-state actors. Thus, due to civil war in Syria, we have seen many people, including children, women, old age people, men have been trying to migrate to the west, the European countries like Germany or Italy in the sea, in boats on the sea by endangering themselves. This is because of the undemocratic nature and oppressive behavior of the government in Syria, also the non-state actors in Syria. Similarly, Rohingya Muslims, they are persecuted by the Myanmar Buddhists in the Rakhine state of Myanmar. So also the Balochis. These are all the examples of the lack of democracy itself. So what is the answer? The answer is that democracy. Democracy is the solution to all these problems. Democracy brings in fraternity, it brings in participation of people, it gives the opportunity to self-determination for an individual, it brings equality and justice also. So democracy is a very imperative thing in this age and time. Also, racial discrimination, if we see, racial discrimination happens because when there is lack of equality, lack of knowledge, lack of education, and lack of education happens due to by virtue of the absence of democracy itself. If there is democracy, all the stakeholders, all the citizens will have an equal access to education. Thus, here also democracy plays an important role in curbing racial discrimination. According to an Oxfam report, the report name is An Economy for the 1%. It shows the state of affairs globally and nationally, and it says that inequality is on the rise. So we can use this data. We can say that according to an Oxfam report, the inequality is on the rise. What does this signify? This signifies that however, several countries have adopted democracy, but we have failed to utilize, or we have failed to sustainably use democracy in order to bring equality. So we have to strengthen our democracy in order to the benefits of the economy reach down to the poorest of the poor. We can use this Oxfam report, that is equality is on the rise. Also, the global gender gap report by World Economic Forum shows that the level of gender inequality is rising rapidly. We can also use this statistics here. Also, inequality and poverty happens due to lack of education, lack of opportunities, lack of knowledge, and several societal barriers like casteism, racism, or communal hatred. All this happens because lack of democracy itself. That does not mean democracy is absent in a country. That's why these are happening. No, democracy is present, but the actualization of democracy, the the grassroots implementation of democracy is somewhere missing. uh, so uh, Democracy must be brought down to the grassroots level, to the last mile. It should be implemented. So these are some of the aspects. Even gender perspective we can add here. So let us end our discussion regarding democracy. We have understood, I believe we have understood a lot regarding democracy in depth, and we have got some several facts and statistics which we can use in our essays. So we'll continue in the next session. Thank you very much.